What's up, everybody? Josh or Miho here. I hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I got an album review to do for you, and I'm going to be talking to you about the new album from the band Jig-Ai, entitled Rising Sun Carnage. This is released on Bizarre Leprous Productions. Now, if you're not too familiar with this band, they are based out of Prague in the Czech Republic, and the best way to describe the sound of this band would be a very gory, hentai porn-inspired style of death metal mixed with grindcore. You could also refer to it as goregrind if you wish. Yeah, just a really psychotically crazy band. I mean, the kind of hentai that this band gets inspiration from is the kind of hentai that usually involves gore, blood, guts, mutilation, all that kind of stuff. And if you could tell by the song titles and the imagery that this band puts forth, you already know what you're going to be in for. And stuff like that was very well evidented on this band's first two albums, the self-titled and Katana Orgy. Just some really crazy music going on here. Just the natural instrumentation, great drums, awesome guitar riffs, sick guttural vocals, even pitch-shifted vocals to an extent. I mean, it almost reminds me of stuff like Last Days of Humanity, with just a little bit of rectal schmegma and cock and ball torture thrown in there too. Just some really sick influences going on there. Now, it's been quite a while since this band's put out a full length. I want to say Katana Orgy came out around 2008. Now, 6 years later, we have a brand new full length from this band. It's 22 tracks, and it clocks in at around 39 minutes in length. And you would think for an album that runs at a length like that, it would feel very long and lengthy. But in the case of Rising Sun Carnage, every single song that's on this album flies by at such an incredibly fast pace. It's almost kind of hard to keep up with at times. But still, the way everything flows together, it feels very seamless. There really doesn't seem to be a break in between each song. Sure, it ends, but then it quickly transitions right into the next song, and I think that's really crazy. Speaking of crazy, the guitar riffs on this album are absolutely gut-wrenching. Just the tone of every single riff and guitar lick being played here just really feels smooth. I love the way that it sounds. It sounds very clear, very gritty and dirty sounding. I love that. I love that in the guitar riffs. It almost kind of reminds me a little bit of Rotten Sound and a little bit of the current Regurgitate sound. That's what I'm picking up when I listen to this guitar tone. I just think it's insane. Very well played, very well executed. The bass guitar is equally as audible. Very loud, very well heard, very well played, well done stuff with the bass guitar. Very smooth stuff. Moving on to the drums. The drums feel absolutely crazy. I just love the speed of the drums. Lots and lots of fast blast beats and double bass. The drum performance sounds very polished. Not polished to the point where you think it would feel distracting, but polished enough to where you can appreciate what the drummer is bringing forth here to the table. Even to some of the more mid-paced militant moments. Like, I want to say there's a track on here called March of Jig-Ai, where the drums seem to take a little bit of a militant break in between some of the songs. I think it's a nice little gesture going on here. But looking for the rest of this album, you're going to get a lot of crazy moments. Fast blasting, great speed. I just love the way the drums sound. From the very first moments of this album to the closing 30 seconds of the album, I think it's insane. And moving on to the vocals are absolutely sick. Super guttural, very undecipherable, very crazy sounding vocal styles. I'm feeling the vocals to be a little bit natural this time around. I know in previous releases they've incorporated the use of natural vocals and an almost pitch-shifted kind of vocal style. I mean, going back to the Last Days of Humanity comparisons and even a little bit of Rompa-Prop. But with this album, I'm hearing a lot more natural-sounding guttural vocals, very evil, very ugly, very gross sounding. It's almost as if the vocalist is literally puking onto a microphone. I think it's crazy. There is a little bit of vocal variation going on here, but more likely than anything, it is a very guttural vocal style, but I think it's very entertaining, and it definitely makes this album fly by very worthwhile. Even some of the sillier moments on this album, there's a track on here called Animal Revenge, which has some really interesting sound effects going on throughout the entire song. You hear some ducks quacking and cows mooing. I think it's really, really crazy. Even some of the song titles can really be considered crazy, like Koi Throat Fuck, Menstrual Tea Relax, Human Tofu, Shit Cunson, Hard Cock Cafe. I mean, those are just some of the songs that definitely come to mind for me of this album, and every song that I just mentioned is really, really entertaining and very, very good. So, if you're a fan of death metal, grindcore, if you're into Last Days of Humanity, Cock and Ball Torture, the gore grind style, or even if you're into anime or hentai, this is a band that definitely will be right up your alley. I think it's a crazy, crazy frenetic listen. It's almost hard to keep up with at times, but still, once you do go along for the ride, it is a journey well worth taking. So, if I had to pick any favorite tracks, I would definitely have to say Koi Throat Fuck, Ikebana Body Parts, Menstrual Tea Relax, Human Tofu, Shit Cunson, Hard Cock Cafe, Rice Bombing, and Ejaculation Complete. So, I'm going to leave you a link in the description box to the Jig-Ai Bandcamp where you can stream this album in its entirety, hear it for yourself, and be your own judge as to whether you feel it is deeming of being purchased or not. You can buy it digitally direct from the band, or you can buy it directly through Bizarre Leprous Productions if you're willing to pay a little bit of euro for it, or wait until certain metal distros in the United States happen to carry it. Either way, it is an album worth owning. So again, the album is Rising Sun Carnage by Jig-Ai. This is released on Bizarre Leprous Productions. Definitely check this out. And for the time being, I'm going to give this a very strong 8 out of 10. Very entertaining death metal and grindcore with that crazy, crazy hentai influence going on. So support Jig-Ai. I'm going to conclude this review. Thanks all for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel. And until the next time, Armijo out.